Welcome, my fellow music aficionados, to a captivating exploration of timeless phenomenon in the world of music, the art of gimmicks. Particularly the power of costumes and the burning question of whether they still hold their charm in contemporary music today. From the electrifying mass of Slipknot to the mysterious personas of Ghost and the sheer audacity of Insane Clown Posse, we're about to embark on a journey through the annals of music history. But here's the twist: we'll also be peering into the present day to see if these extravagant theatrics continue to enchant and enthrall audiences. So settle in, let's unravel the enigma of musical gimmicks in today's ever-evolving sonic tapestry. The concept of using costumes as a gimmick in music goes back many years, and it's challenging to pinpoint the very first instance. However, one early and significant example of costume gimmick in music was the stage attire of Sister Rosetta Tharpe, a pioneering gospel and blues musician in the 1930s and 40s. Rosetta Tharpe was known for her powerful gospel performances and her skill on the electric guitar. She often performed in flamboyant, eye-catching costumes, including stylish dresses and hats. Her extravagant stage presence and fashion sense set her apart from other artists of her time and contributed to her unique image. Not only this, but she was also an influential American singer, songwriter and guitarist who played a significant role in the development of gospel, blues and early rock and roll music. Her unique musical style and powerful stage presence made her a pioneer in blending sacred and secular music. Tharpe's fusion of gospel and secular music and her charismatic stage presence had a profound impact on the early development of rock and roll. Artists like Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry and Little Richard acknowledged her as a major influence on their music. While Rosetta Tharpe's use of costumes may not be the absolute first instance of such a gimmick in music, it was an earlier influential example of an artist using clothing and stage attire to create a distinct persona and memorable stage presence. Many artists who followed her in various genres would continue to use costumes and fashion as a means of enhancing their stage performances and making a lasting impression on audiences. Take Little Richard. Little Richard's stage costume was nothing short of extravagant. His appearance was as striking as his music, with towering pompadour hairstyles that added to his larger-than-life image. His heavy makeup featuring vibrant eyeshadow, eyeliner and lipstick not only accentuated his facial features, but also showcased his flamboyance. His outfits were nothing short of dazzling, often consisting of sequin suits, satin jackets and even capes, all adorned with rhinestones and glitter. However, Little Richard's gimmicks extended far beyond his flashy attire. His energetic piano playing style became legendary, characterised by his passionate pounding of the keys. He would often stand on top of the piano, dance round it or even lay down while continuing to play, captivating the audience with his exuberance. His vocal style was equally dynamic, featuring powerful and soulful singing, punctuated by screams and shouts which became integral to his music and stage presence. He used exaggerated hand and body movements to engage with the crowd, making each performance a visually captivating experience. Moreover, Little Richard excelled at audience interaction, frequently calling out to the crowd and encouraging their participation, establishing a strong connection that left a lasting impression on concert goers. The 1970s and 1980s were decades marked by remarkable changes in the world of music, particularly in the realm of rock and pop. During this era, musicians were not only known for their catchy tunes but also for their extravagant costumes and makeup. These elements played a significant role in shaping the image and identity of many iconic artists, often transcending their music to become symbols of the times. One of the most notable musical movements that embraced extravagant costume and music was glam rock. Originating in the early 1970s in the United Kingdom, glam rock was a genre that celebrated androgyny, excess and flamboyance. Iconic artists like David Bowie and T-Rex's Mark Bolan led the way with their glittering costumes and bold makeup. Bowie's alter ego Ziggy Stardust was a prime example with his androgynous appearance, bright red mullet and striking Ziggy makeup. Glam rock's fusion of fashion and music created an entirely new image for rock stars, where appearance was as important as sound. The band Kiss took the idea of makeup to a whole new level in the 1970s. Known for their elaborate face paint and theatrical stage personas, Kiss became legendary for their extravagant costumes and makeup gimmicks. Each member of the band had a distinct character: Gene Simmons as the Demon, Paul Stanley as the Starchild, Ace Frehley as the Spaceman, and Peter Criss as the Catman. Their larger-than-life personas, complete with intricate costumes and makeup, turned them into rock and roll superheroes and a pop culture phenomenon. The 1980s saw the rise of Madonna, who continually reinvented herself through her music and ever-evolving fashion. Madonna's style during this era was a mix of punk, new wave and pop, and her iconic looks included lace gloves, layered skirts and profusion of accessories. Her makeup choices featuring bold red lips and thick eyeliner also became a signature element of her image. Madonna's ability to incorporate fashion and makeup gimmicks into her music helped establish her as a fashion icon and an enduring influence on pop culture. In the 1980s, Michael Jackson released his groundbreaking album Thriller. The music videos for songs like Thriller and Billie Jean featured the artist in innovative costumes and makeup. Jackson's red leather jacket from Thriller and his illuminated sidewalk in Billie Jean became iconic visuals of the decade. His meticulous attention to detail in costume design and makeup transformed music videos into cinematic spectacles, further elevating the medium's importance in the music industry. The 70s and 80s were marked by the use of extravagant costume and makeup gimmicks in the music industry. From glam rock's androgyny and glittering personas to Kiss's theatrical makeup and costumes, from Madonna's fashion-forward reinventions to Michael Jackson's groundbreaking music videos. Artists of these decades embraced visual extravagance as an integral part of the industry. These music gimmicks not only defined the era, but also left a lasting impact on how we perceive and remember the music of the 70s and 80s. The fusion of music, fashion and makeup during this time continues to inspire and influence artists to this day. The 1990s were a pivotal era in the music industry, characterised by a wide range of musical genres and experimentation. Amidst this musical diversity, there emerged a distinct trend that transcended the auditory experience: the use of elaborate costumes and makeup by bands and artists. This phenomenon, often regarded as a music gimmick, was prominently embraced by bands such as Gwar, Insane Clown Posse and Slipknot. One of the most iconic examples of music gimmickry from the 90s is Gwar, a band known for their outlandish, otherworldly personas and gruesome stage performances. Gwar's members adorn themselves with intricate, monstrous costumes that include exaggerated prosthetics, elaborate masks and grotesque props. The band's stage shows were an extravagant blend of heavy metal and science fiction, replete with copious amounts of fake blood and gore. By using over-the-top costumes and makeup, Gwar successfully crafted a unique visual identity that both shocked and entertained their audiences. Gwar's gimmick was not merely a superficial spectacle, it served as a means to convey a satirical commentary on various aspects of society, including politics, war and pop culture. Their audacious and humorous approach allowed them to tackle serious issues while maintaining a veneer of absurdity. In doing so, Gwar demonstrated that costume and makeup could be used as a powerful vehicle for artistic expression and social critique in the music industry. Another prominent act that capitalised on the use of costumes and makeup in the 1990s was Insane Clown Posse. With their signature clown-inspired makeup and extravagant carnival-themed attire, ICP created a subculture known as the Juggalos and became infamous for their controversial lyrics and bizarre stage antics. The use of clown makeup was not just a superficial choice for ICP, it symbolised their dedication to creating an alternative world within their music, filled with its own mythology and symbolism. ICP's makeup and costumes transformed their performances into immersive experiences for fans, blurring the lines between reality and fiction. The Juggalo subculture embraced these elements as a form of self-expression, further emphasising the impact of costumes and makeup in shaping the fan base's identity. ICP's approach demonstrated how music gimmicks could serve as a unifying force for fans and provide a sense of belonging in an often fragmented society. In the late 1990s, the emergence of nu metal brought a new wave of experimentation in music, with Slipknot being one of its most prominent and enigmatic representatives. The band members concealed their identities behind gruesome masks, adopting pseudonyms and numbers to add an air of mystery to their personas. Slipknot's use of costumes and masks created an intimidating and chaotic image that perfectly complemented their aggressive music. Slipknot's gimmick was a reflection of the inner turmoil and aggression that characterised their music. The masks and costumes served as a means of catharsis for the band members, allowing them to channel their darker emotions into their performances. The anonymity provided by masks also allowed them to maintain a level of privacy while still achieving a high level of fame. The 1990s witnessed the rise of music gimmicks that utilised costumes and makeup as a means of artistic expression and identity creation. Bands like Goth, Insane Clown Posse and Slipknot demonstrated that these visual effects were more than just superficial gimmicks. They were integral to the music and culture they created. These acts used costumes and makeup to craft unique personas, convey social commentary and establish long, strong connections with their fan bases. As we look back at this era of music history, it becomes evident that the 1990s were a time when music and spectacle merged to create unforgettable experiences for both artists and audiences alike. The music industry has always been a fertile ground for experimentation, and one area where artists have pushed boundaries is through their gimmicks. From elaborate costumes and makeup to on-stage theatrics, these elements have played a significant role in defining an artist's image and creating memorable performances. One of the most iconic examples of musicians using costumes and masks to create a unique image is the band Mushroomhead, popping up around the same time as Slipknot. Emerging in the late 90s but gaining prominence in the 2000s, Mushroomhead's members adorned themselves with elaborate masks and costumes that obscured their identities. The gimmick not only added an air of mystery to their stage presence, but also allowed them to assume different personas, contributing to their theatrical performances. Wes Borland, the guitarist of nu metal band Limp Bizkit, is another artist known for his distinctive image. Borland's stage persona often involved him dressing up in eccentric costumes and adopting various personas during performances. His transformation from a dark and menacing character to a bizarre and comical figure demonstrated the power of theatrics in music, making him a standout figure in the early 2000s music scene. In the 2010s, the band Sleep Token emerged with a gimmick that took anonymity to a whole new level. The group's members concealed their identities behind masks and chose to be known solely by their initials. This enigmatic approach not only added to an aura of mystique, but also allowed listeners to focus solely on the music, creating an immersive experience that blurred the lines between reality and fantasy. Maynard James Keenan, known for his work with bands like Tool and A Perfect Circle, created Pucifer as an outlet for his theatrical tendencies. Pucifer's live shows incorporated elements of performance art with elaborate costumes, synchronised dancers and surreal stage design. This approach showcased the potential for theatricality to enhance the live music experience and create a multi-sensory spectacle. Swedish rock band Ghost, also known as Ghost BC in the United States, is a remarkable example of a music gimmick that combines theatricality with a darkly satirical twist. Led by the enigmatic frontman Tobias Forge, who assumes the personas of Papa Emeritus or Cardinal Copia, the band's image is steeped in satanic aesthetics and pseudo-religious symbolism. Ghost's live performances are elaborate spectacles, with the band members wearing papal robes and masks that represent the nameless ghouls. Their stage shows are a grandiose fusion of heavy rock music and dark comedy, creating a unique blend of horror and humour that has garnered them a dedicated fan base. The band's ability to blend religious imagery with theatricality has made them a standout act in the music world, emphasising the enduring power of gimmicks in the 21st century music scene. And in recent years, bands like Ice Nine Kills have embraced theatricality with a modern twist. Often referred to as horrorcore, the band combines heavy metal with elements of horror movies in their music and image. Their live performances feature costumes inspired by iconic horror characters, gruesome makeup and a stage design that immerses the audience in a horror movie atmosphere. This unique approach appeals to fans of both music and horror culture. it's evident that gimmicks still have their place in the world of music. While some may argue that music should stand solely on its artistic merit, the reality is that gimmicks can enhance the overall experience for both artists and their audiences. This is particularly evident when examining bands and artists like Slipknot, Sleep Token, Pucifer and Insane Clown Posse, who have utilised gimmicks to great effect. In each of these cases, gimmicks have not detracted from the quality of the music, but have instead added layers of depth and engagement to the overall experience. Gimmicks can serve as a powerful tool for artists to connect with their audience, create memorable moments, and leave a lasting impression. They provide a means to visually and thematically complement the music, allowing artists to convey their message in a more compelling and holistic way. In the ever-evolving landscape of music, where artists must find ways to stand out and capture the attention of increasingly discerning audiences, gimmicks continue to prove their worth. They are not merely tricks or distractions, but creative strategies that enhance the music and foster a deeper connection between artists and their fans. Therefore, it is clear that gimmicks, when used thoughtfully and authentically, still have a vital place in the realm of music.